This case study video covers a successful revised planning application in Swindon, where Hill Planning secured approval for a rear dormer extension and associated alterations within a conservation area following a history of refusals and a dismissed appeal. I'm John Peters, and this case relates to a two-storey mid-terraced house located in a predominantly residential street in Swindon with a uniform character and narrow rear gardens. Due to the constraints of the site, utilising the loft space through a dormer extension was the most effective way to increase living accommodation while preserving valuable garden space. Planning permission had previously been granted for two smaller rear dormers. However, during construction it became clear that the approved design would not provide the internal space needed. Larger dormers were subsequently built, but when a retrospective application was submitted, it was refused by the local authority and later dismissed at appeal. At this stage, the applicant contacted Hill Planning for guidance. The case began with a free no obligation consultation with one of our specialist planning officers. We assessed the planning history, design context and relevant policy framework. Confident we could help, we issued a detailed written proposal to the applicant outlining the process and fees, enabling them to make a fully informed decision before moving forward. The key to this case was referring to a nearby precedent. A neighbouring property on the same road had constructed a similar dormer which, like this case, was initially unauthorised and refused by the council. However, that dormer was granted on appeal under a grounds A following an enforcement notice that the decision the planning inspector concluded the dormer did not result in harm to the conservation area and blended well with the roofscape. Hill Planning used this precedent to design a revised dormer that aligned with the one approved at the neighbouring site. The new design was carefully crafted and sit comfortably within the existing roof slope, reduced visual bulk and enhanced the character of the conservation area. Additional elements included two front roof lights and a roof lantern to the rear extension. The revised planning application submitted to Swindon Borough Council was assessed against key policies in the Swindon local plan. National planning policy played a vital role as well, particularly paragraphs supporting sustainable development and sensitive changes within heritage areas. Swindon Borough Council approved the application on 31st of July. The decision confirmed that this revised design was acceptable in terms of scale, appearance and impact on the conservation area. A small number of pre-commencement conditions were included, preliminarily concerning external materials and construction detailing to ensure consistency with the approved design. This case highlights how expert planning advice, effective use of precedent and a well-prepared application can transform a previously refused and appealed development into a successful outcome. If you're facing a similar situation with a refused or unauthorised development or need support preparing a planning application in a conservation area, Hill Planning can help. We deliver successful planning outcomes across England and Wales by applying our expertise in local and national policy precedent and design strategy. To take advantage of a free no obligation consultation with a member of our planning assessment team, speak to one of our planning professionals. Complete our inquiry form today at www.hillplanning.co.uk and we look forward to assisting you soon. Thank you for taking the time to watch this revised planning application case study video, and I look forward to producing the next case study video very soon. Bye for now.